That's a fancy microphone.
We charge extra for that.
I'll pay it. You got my tab back there, don't you?
Yeah. It reaches the floor.
All right, is my battery dead?
I hear you. Sounds good.
I hope you can do the same magic with me.
We can try.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you to Joe Dan and Dr. Neely down here for inviting me back up again. It's always a pleasure to come up here. And Joe Dan's right. Many times I would come up and I would do songs that are better suited for another time of the year. But tonight, with it being so close to such a holy day, I wanted to fixate the songs that I chose around the season and the reason for the season. Joe Dan told me that it would probably be okay to add another song to it. I thought, well, that's all well and good, but I only brought 3 because that's what we've customarily done. And then while I was sitting here listening to the good music and seeing this, oh, y'all got such beautiful smiles. I wish there was a big mirror back here. You just can't imagine what beautiful smiles, particularly this table down here.
Whoa!
And I was reminded of how special the season is, how important peace is, and how it only comes from one real place. And I began thinking about a story I heard a while back. Wanted to grace the song around that. But about 200 years ago, now the details may be sketchy and the timetable is a little bit off, but about 200 years ago, there was a music minister in a small church over in the area of Germany. Was called upon to compose an original song. And he did so for their Christmas program. Sadly, when it came time to perform the song, a mouse had chewed through the bellows of the pump organ, so he had to go back and it had to be performed on a guitar. Well, the song didn't languish, but it stayed somewhat local. And then about 100 years ago, and this is not when the song became popular, somewhere in that first 100 years it became nationally or widespread. But this is the part that touches my heart. About 100 years ago, on the battlefields of Belgium, during the Great War to end all wars, on Christmas Eve night, perhaps you know the story, but on the night of Christmas Eve, and it got silent, and the shells became silent. Night settled in over the battlefield, and on either side of no man's land, no one would dare make a sound for fear of bringing shell fire on them again. And the French troops began to hear an odd sound coming from the other side of no man's land, and it was the German soldiers singing that song. The song had spread throughout Europe so well that the French soldiers knew it, but in their own language. And they all began singing it together. And there, informally, by the grace of God, was the Christmas Eve truce in 1916, 1917, almost 100 years ago. And what was the song that they were singing? What was the song that brought them such peace? That's right. And we all know it, don't we? I'll confess, I only really know the first verse. Sigh. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not here alone. I'm not up here by myself, am I? Particularly the table that smiles so warmly down here. Are you with me? Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round your virgin mother and child, holy infant, so tender and mild. so should peace be everywhere in this season, but not without joy. So let's do a little joy. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. While shepherds kept their watching over silent flocks at night, behold, the heavens are shone a holy light. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. The shepherds feared and trembled and low above the earth rang out the angel chorus that saved our Savior's birth. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Down in a lowly manger, the humble Christ was born, and brought us God's salvation that blessed Christmas morn. Go tell it on the mountain, over the hills and everywhere. Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ is born. Now you might sense that my voice is a little bit fading, and it is. But I have a testimony to give you. My dear wife loves me, so she sent me here tonight to you with what she considered the ultimate remedy. A little blue bottle full of pickle juice to drink at my discretion to cure this. And I apologize to you because I can't do it. It's still out there in my truck. So this is without the pickle juice, folks. Now, if any of you are pickle juice fans, as my wife is, to you offer my humble apologies. Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', and I know I'm going home. Snowflakes are falling, my old home's a-calling, tall pines are humming, Christmas time's a-comin'. Can't you hear them bells ring, ring, joy, joy, hear them sing. When it's snowing I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', and I know I'm going home. White candles burning, my old heart's a-yearning for the folks at home when Christmas time's a-comin'. Can you hear them bells ring, ring, joy, joy, hear them singing. When it's snowing I'll be going back to my country home. Well, Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', and I know I'm going home. Holly's in the window, home is where the wind blows. I can't walk for running, Christmas time's a-comin'. Can't hear them bells ring, ring, joy, joy, and sing. When it's snowing, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', and I know I'm going home. Can you hear them bells ring, ring, joy, joy, and sing? When it's snowing, I'll be going back to my country home. Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', Christmas time's a-comin', and I know I'm going home. Tomorrow morning in the little church that we attend, just between Lindale and Tyler, a little community called Mount Sylvan, up on top of the hill, across from a little country cemetery, where I'm a member, I've been invited to do the offertory. And I thought tonight I would do that same instrumental. Now if you wonder why I'm fidgeting this, it's because I use the sticky stuff on my pick, so it doesn't want to fall off as easy. Doesn't work as well when you're not using the pick. You like that tone?
He looked like he might be trying to remember the words to the large print edition of the Heavenly Highway hymns. Well, you know that song that he played, Christmas Time's a Coming, those of you who are bluegrass fans, and I lived for 7 years out on the East Coast. When I got to go to a bluegrass festival just about every weekend, outdoor bluegrass festivals in the late 60s when they were just becoming popular. And the guy who wrote that song was a guy named Tex Logan, who played for Bill Monroe at times and for others and for himself as well. But that's probably the best known, best liked bluegrass Christmas songs you'll find anywhere. That was especially a good version of it. We were very fortunate to hear that tonight, I think. Let me just say that our closing performer tonight has been on the stage several times. Each time he's been a delight, and each time he's exceeded expectations. I know the first time that he appeared, he blew us away. You know, he played a D28 guitar with finger picks, you know, not a flat pick. He had a pick on every finger, and it just amazed us. And I eventually accused him of going to the Juilliard School of Music for some kind of short course to learn how to do that. I knew he had to have really specialized training. Eventually I got a chance to interview him about that, and it turns out that Dr. Vic Cassad, Reverend Dr. Vic Cassad. Yeah, by the way, are y'all aware that we have 3 doctors of theology in the house tonight? 4? Okay, so we got 4 doctors of theology in the house tonight. This is probably the most well-educated group that we've ever had here tonight. Some people might even say overeducated. I don't know, but I learned that Dr. Vic Cassad is self-trained. You know, he taught himself what he knows, and he calls himself a folk singer. You know, he plays all kinds of music, of course. I'm looking around to see if his lovely wife, Mary Brooke Cassad, is with him. There she is. Mary Brooke Cassad is the spouse of the district superintendent of the East District of the North Texas Conference United Methodist Church. And she herself has served in virtually every spot that a layperson can serve in the United Methodist Church. And she's also the author of a well-known series of children's books, Bluebonnet Armadillo. Some of you have probably read those to your children. She's the author of those. Occasionally, Dr. Cassad brings her up to sing with him. I don't know whether that'll happen tonight or not, but they're both excellent singers, and we're just anticipating what kind of surprise we're in for tonight. I give you a man who can play any instrument that's handed to him and play it well, who knows some of the most esoteric folk songs to be found anywhere in the world, and somebody who is forward enough and brave enough to put on a great show when he does it every time. The Reverend Dr. Victor Cassad.